Hello everyone, welcome back to Access Company channel again. Today we're going to install an AEM oil pressure gauge on AP1 S2000. Let's go.
So this pressure sensor is from AEM. So this kit contains a pressure gauge assembly, pressure gauge sensor, pressure cable, shrink tube, and we have here is our white oil pressure faceplate. There's also a black fuel pressure faceplate that's included here. White fuel pressure faceplate, and the silver bezel that you want if you want to change gauge to whatever color you like. You can do silver or you can choose with a black one.
So before we actually get to start installing the oil pressure gauge, the concept of this car is to make it look like it came out from the factory. I know it looks like a race car. It has like a huge splitters at the front, and it also has a big wing at the back. I guess you guys can see it. I'll show you guys later. Yeah. So, but still, we wanted to make it look like it came out from the factory. So we're gonna try our best to do the wiring jobs as clean as possible. And also, we try to figure out where to put the oil pressure gauge monitor inside here, but we found out the owner of this driver doesn't use this audio control module button, whatever you would like to call it, because he has the aftermarket deck. So we're gonna take this piece out and make a hole a little bit larger so it fits the oil pressure gauge monitor. We thought about installing on a dash or beside the A-pillar like all the tuners do, but that's not our style and that's not what the driver wants. So we're gonna remove this and make it fit. Yeah, then let's get to it.
So this oil pressure sensor replaces the OEM oil pressure switch that's located above this oil filter. So what we're trying to do here is we are going to try to follow the wiring harness. So this wiring harness, so it will look as clean as possible, even though this oil pressure sensor is aftermarket. So what we're going to do is we're trying to follow this wiring harness that goes under the coil pack cover, that goes under at the back of this engine, under the intake manifold, under the brake booster, and then goes inside the vehicle. So hopefully this wiring harness is long enough, or if it's not long enough, we will have to extend it so it will reach where we want to put the oil pressure gauge. So first, we are going to remove this beautiful Chasing J's titanium coil pack cover with a size 4 Allen key. So this is pretty much how we wanted the wires to sit. So here you can see this connector that goes to the oil pressure sensor. So this goes underneath here, then wire it with the wiring harness. Then this goes around to the coil pack, which this part will be covered by the Chasing J's titanium cover, so you cannot see any wiring that's out. And then this wire, we'll figure this one out later, but yeah, it's OEM.
Okay, so now we're gonna put it under the brake booster, but
This is it's too short.
yes, it's way too short. So we're gonna have to extend it to put it into the vehicle. So how are you gonna do it, Javette?
So we are going to pin out, then extend. Then we are going to put it in to this rubber grommet under the clutch reservoir. So we are going to put it into the rubber grommet, goes inside the vehicle, and yeah, everything should be good. So right now, I'm going to peel this protector off. So we can cut it from here, extend it, then connect these wires, then attach it to the connector inside the vehicle.
Okay, got it, got it, got it.
Put it in.
Okay, so in order to remove this panel here, so apparently we have to remove the whole dash. So there's bolts holding this cover down here, and there's two bolts up here holding the dashboard, and then we'll remove the dash, remove this panel, and we're gonna try to fit the gauge onto this control module audio control button here. Yep, and let's get to it. So we got this piece out here, so now we need to take this off, trim it to make it fit pressure gauge. I'll come back with the result. Okay, so we got this piece ready. We shaved off the hole that was existed and made this old pressure gauge fit, and it's very nice and tight. So it doesn't move, it doesn't wiggle. Yeah, and this one is ready to go in. Okay, so we did put this panel back on to the dash. So my apology that we forgot to record a video putting the dash back in, but it's back in. This is in. Everything is tight and nothing's loose. Make sure everything is secured. The button works totally fine. This is secured. So now we're going to place the pressure sensor to the one that AEM provided to us. Let's get to it.
So this is the wires that connects to the oil pressure sensor. So we were able to extend it, and then goes into the rubber grommet that goes into the vehicle. But be careful, guys, because you have to make sure, because it's really a tight fit. So make sure that you don't damage the other wires while you're putting it in. So yeah, this is it. So we're going to zip tie this later, and for the power and ground on the oil pressure sensor, we connected it to the cruise control connector. So I'm gonna show you.
Let's test if it works.
Okay, so testing. The AM gauge works.
Ooh!
Damn! Sexy time.
Sexy time. It works. Okay, Fed.
So now we are going to install the oil pressure sensor, torque it to spec, and we should read something here.
Okay, let's get
Do it. So, out with the old oil pressure sensor and in with the new AEM sensor. So the reason why I put cloth here, so when you remove this OEM oil pressure sensor, oil could drip down and make a mess. So, just to minimize the mess,
Here,
put a
keep it
cloth.
clean.
Yeah, keep it clean.
This
Put a
is
cloth.
your
and-
precious S2000. Keep it clean.
Yes, sir. And for the new AEM sensor, just apply a small amount of liquid gasket to prevent any leaks.
Yup.
Oh shit! Cut.
Come
cut.
on.
Just a tiny amount of.
Put it more.
More.
That's not gonna do anything.
Okay. Not my car. Then thread it in,
Put it in.
and make sure you don't cross thread. Because you don't want to.
Make sure you don't cross thread it.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm the cross thread master, so I let you fed to it. Mhm. Butter?
Booter.
Butter?
It's booter.
And what's the torque spec on this?
Torque spec is 13 foot-pounds.
13 foot-pounds?
Yes, sir. And remember to torque, to spec everything.
Yep, make sure you torque everything to spec.
So just make sure that you don't over torque this oil pressure switch because it's a tapered thread and it might crack. So yeah, you don't want this part to crack. Almost there.
Okay, so the oil pressure sensor is in there. And now we're gonna put the connectors in. Whoop. Click,
Put it in.
click, click, click. Oh yeah. Is it tight?
Of course.
Is it tight?
Tight.
Tight, tight. The oil pressure sensor is in. Connector is plugged. And this OEM oil pressure sensor cover or the ground connector. Apparently, the oil pressure warning light doesn't comes on even though this is not connected. So we're not gonna ground this now. We're just gonna put this over onto the connector here just to make it look cleaner. OEM, OEM. Okay, now it's time to test it. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. Light does comes on. And see if it reaches the oil pressure. And it does. And it works. Yep, it works. There's no
All pressure warning lights on. Everything's good. Yep.
Yes, so that's it for the AEM oil pressure gauge installation on a Honda S2000. If you liked our video, please hit like.
Subscribe and share this video.
So thanks for watching, everyone, and stay tuned for more contents incoming. Yay!
Go.